이런 거.
In November 2002, doctors in the Guangdong province of southeastern China began to see the first cases of what would become known as SARS, or Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome. Over the next several months, 8,069 people in 26 countries has contracted the new viral illness, leading to 774 deaths. The illness spread to more than 24 countries in North America, South America, Europe, and Asia before the global outbreak was contained in 2003. Since 2004, no more cases of SARS-CoV-1 have been reported worldwide. As per year 2020, SARS-CoV-1 has considered eradicated in humans. But as the virus also infects animals, it is possible that it will re-emerge again in the future. Hi, my name is Nurul Iman, and today, me and my friend Ismatul Amrina, Ummi Akila, and also Muhammad Alif Aiman will be telling you some information about Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome, or SARS. So first, let's talk about the symptoms of SARS. SARS usually begins with the flu-like signs and symptoms, including fever, chills, muscle ache, headache, and occasionally diarrhea. After about 1 week, signs and symptoms include fever of 38 degrees Celsius or higher, dry cough, and shortness of breath. SARS is a serious illness that can lead to death. If you have a sign or symptoms of a respiratory infection, or you have a flu-like sign and symptoms with fever after traveling abroad, you should see your doctor right away.
Causative agent for SARS is actually SARS coronavirus. I'm gonna explain more about the characteristic of the SARS coronavirus. As you can see in the picture, the SARS coronavirus is actually an envelope virus with a helical capsid. Secondly, they have spike attached. As for their Baltimore classification, SARS coronavirus included in class 4. Why? This is because SARS coronavirus is a single-stranded RNA.
What is the difference between COVID-19 and SARS? First, let's know what is coronavirus. Coronavirus are a very diverse family of viruses. They have a large host range, which includes humans. However, the greatest amount of coronavirus diversity is seen in bats. Coronavirus have spiky projections on their surface that looks like crowns. Corona means crown in Latin, and that's how this family of virus got their name. Next, let's know what is SARS. SARS is the name of the respiratory illness that's caused by SARS-CoV. The acronym SARS stands for Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome. The global SARS outbreak lasted from late 2002 to mid-2003. During this time, over 8,000 people were sick and 774 people died. How does COVID-19 differ from SARS? The symptoms of both are different. Firstly, COVID-19. The common symptoms is fever, cough, fatigue, and shortness of breath, while common symptoms for SARS is fever, cough, malaise, body aches and pains, headache, and shortness of breath. Less common symptoms for COVID-19 is runny or stuffy nose, headache, muscle aches and pains, sore throat, nausea, diarrhea, chills with or without repeated shaking, loss of taste and loss of smell, while less common symptoms for SARS is diarrhea and chills.
So how did SARS spread? Let's see. So first of all, SARS can spread through the close contact between human and by water droplets, such as when you are sneezing like achoo or coughing like So until today, the scientists still couldn't figure out how the virus travel. Maybe airborne or maybe other way, we don't know. As we all know, our body likely to absorb the respiratory droplets through the mucous membrane, such as from our nose, mouth and eyes. Why SARS spread easily? Like, how can they infect other people so fast? For an example, the infected person sneeze or cough onto the door handle, and then the other person who's not infected came and grabbed that door handle, so the droplet from the infected person sneeze and cough, the non-infected person can pick up the virus from that droplet on the door handle. So that's why it's so easy to spread the SARS.
Stars shining bright above me. I breathe to seem to whisper.
Mode of transmission of SARS. SARS is an airborne virus and can spread through small droplets of saliva in a similar way to the cold and influenza. It was the first severe and readily transmissible new disease to emerge in the 21st century and showed a clear capacity to spread along the routes of international air travel. SARS can also be spread indirectly via surface that have been touched by someone who is infected with the virus. Next, how actually the virus enters the host. SARS attach to cells using its spike protein. This protein binds to the ACE2 receptor, a molecule that sits on the surface of human cells. After binding to ACE2, the virus undergoes a structural change that allows it to fuse with the cell. Once inside, the virus is able to reproduce. Moving forward, how the virus multiplies. So when someone becomes infected with the SARS virus, the pathogen multiply rapidly in the cells of the infected person. To do so, the virus has to multiply its genetic material, which consists of a single long RNA strand. This task is performed by the viral copy machine, the so-called polymerase. Complications. Many people with SARS develop pneumonia, and breathing problems can become so severe that a mechanical respirator is needed. SARS is fatal in some cases, often due to respiratory failure. Other possible complications include heart and liver failure. People older than 60, especially those with underlying conditions such as diabetes or hepatitis, are at the highest risk of serious complications.
Since 2003, why was a vaccine not developed against SARS-CoV and MERS-CoV, even though academics have alerted the world about the impending danger of an epidemic? The reasons given for not developing SARS-CoV and MERS-CoV vaccines are the lack of adequate funding as well as poor understanding of the virus biology, despite the candidates' vaccines for both viruses showed good immunization in animal models.
Washing hands frequently. Avoiding touching the eyes, mouth, and nose with unclean hand. Covering the mouth and nose when coughing or sneezing. Avoiding sharing food and drinks. Wearing a mask before going out.
In conclusion, we must unite and work together to prevent this virus from being infected. Therefore, SARS is not a virus that we should take lightly. This virus or chronic disease spreads to anyone regardless of rank, religion, or degree. Hopefully, the efforts we make will have the best impact on ourselves, the people, and the country. When we are united, everything will be easy. Thank you.
Sycamore tree.